Well, welcome everyone to another edition of Nicole Sauce's Thought of the Walk. This is episode 9. 9. And if you look at my eyes, I have like bags. Yep, I have bags. And here's why. I was just at the Rogue Food Conference and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of people. And today, you know what I want to talk to you about? I wanted to talk to you about going rogue and what that means. But then I came out and saw these guys. And it got me to thinking about some things people have told me about eating healthy and how much it costs. Look at these guys. They're so happy. These are the chickens that in about a week are going to be part of the poultry processing workshop. So let's examine this question of, do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? Because when you tell me you can't afford to eat healthy, what you're telling me is that you're surviving, not thriving. And it's kind of funny how that is, because I think it's usually a mindset. It's very rare that people really can't afford, in our country anyway, to eat healthy. You want to know why I'm raising those guys over there? Here's why. I want them to have a good life. I want them to have one bad day. And then they're going to go into my freezer and I'm going to have pasture-raised chicken. Those guys, when we moved the chicken tractor last night, check this out. When we moved the chicken tractor last night, there was a ton of plantain in here. And they went in there and all I saw were chickens eating all that grass and plantain. When I move it forward again later today, same thing. They go into this like feeding frenzy of, wow, it's so good. There's bugs in here. There's grass in here. They like to thrive too, not just survive. And when you think about what you're putting into your body, what you put into your body becomes you. And if what you put into your body is a bunch of cheap crap, your body turns that into cheap crap. And in our culture, an ever-expanding body of cheap crap is what results. So when you hear yourself saying, I can't afford to eat healthy, what you're saying is, I'm just eating to survive. Eating to survive to me should be more about, if I don't eat, I'm going to die. And therefore I'm going to eat this thing that's non-ideal. And it may look a lot like I forage the ground and get some wild things, but it also might look like I need to eat a lot of carbs. Rice is cheap and you can have a cup of rice and that'll do you for half a day or a day. Have you ever tried to live on a cup of rice a day? People do that. People do that in this world, right? That's surviving. Surviving is, I see a squirrel or a possum and I kill it and I cook it and I eat it. That's surviving. Surviving has turned into, it is cheaper to eat a dollar meal off of a menu of a fast food place, or it is cheaper to eat prepackaged food from the grocery store that's basically subsidized. It's part of how they keep it cheap, right? By the way, those subsidies are complicated to explain. Not going to do that here, but we'll do that in the future. It's subsidized and it's cheap. And what is quote unquote not cheap is the good food, is the healthy food. It's the pig that's raised in this pasture right over here. That takes effort. That takes time. It takes a little bit of money. She's thriving too, right? So if you're eating to survive, it's time to examine your life choices. Because I see people eating to survive, making six-figure salaries, living in big homes with really nice cars, and I wonder, how is it you can't afford a pasture-raised steak? Even if it is, $10, $12, $14 a pound, how can you not afford that? Even if it's $30 a pound, how can you not afford that? You just paid for a $500,000 house. Oh wait, you're paying for a $500,000 house, right? It's your life choices. Maybe it would be better to be in a $250,000 house that you're paying for, because most people don't just drop a $250,000. Maybe it's better to be in a $250,000 house and have enough money to eat $4 a pound pasture-raised, grass-fed ground beef, or $6 a pound ground beef. It kind of depends on the market you're in. Or maybe like me, you can live in a $70,000 house with 3 acres. And you can get to know your farmers, and you can buy direct, and you can buy whole animals, and pretty much you discover You know what I discovered? I can get a whole cow, all in, $3-4 a pound. That's steaks, that's ground, that's bones, that's everything. Processed by somebody else. $3-4 a pound. And I can put that in my freezer. Then I pay for a little bit of power. And that's it. And then I know I'm eating good food. So if you decide you want to eat to thrive, then it's time to make room for that in your budget. And that's on you. Sure, you can keep eating crap, or you can eat scales of crap. Start by cutting out everything processed and all sugar and all fake sugar. Try that for a month. You'll find out you become grumpy. You know why? Because you are what you eat, and your body's addicted to that. It thinks it needs that, right? It thinks it needs all those processed things. Just do that. I don't even say cut carbs. Rice is a whole food, eat rice. Potatoes are a whole food, eat potatoes. Hell, even eat bread. Just choose bread that's not Wonder Bread. Choose bread that's something that's been baked by a real person with real flour, right? That's what you can do. And when you do that, you'll discover after an end of a month, a couple things. One, you probably lost weight. Most of us need to lose a little weight. The other thing you'll discover is that it was a hard transition, but you're starting to taste things differently. You might go back to that bag of Doritos and it tastes like crap. Doritos taste terrible. I had no idea how bad they were until I stopped eating stuff like that and started eating real food with real spices. And then I tasted it and it was like a flavor bomb from hell. But I want to eat to thrive. I'm not going to eat to survive. And what that means is I put more of my budget towards food than a lot of people. My priority. I put my time budget into it because my monetary budget is more limited than I'd like it to be. I'm in the process of building that and changing that. So it's hard for me to just bomb out money for the well-produced food by farmers who deserve to be paid for the work they do. So I've decided, for me personally, my way of thriving instead of just surviving on my food is to raise a bunch of food here. You don't have to do that. That may not be what you like to do. Well, in that case, especially if you're somebody with a good job and you're telling me you can't afford to eat good food, well, what are you affording? Why are you affording it? And what's more important than your long-term health? My $20 to $25 chickens are healthier than the $1 a pound or 49-cent a pound chicken in the store. On the other hand, if you need a stepping stone, what you do is you cut out all the crap, cut up all the processed stuff, you cut out all the sugars that are in things, the corn syrup, cut out the fake sugar. That means your soda addiction's got to go. It's got to go. And you buy that 49-cent a pound chicken and that 99-cent a pound ground beef, and you eat it. And you eat those vegetables that are part of the commercial food system. You do that for a while, and pretty much soon you'll discover I have a little bit more energy. Maybe I don't need to make myself unmiserable by spending it on stuff I don't really want. Maybe I don't need to sit on this couch and watch a video tonight. Maybe I can do something different. Maybe you end up planting a tomato plant or doing something else. Maybe you end up setting up a YouTube channel that shows us your wood turning skills. I don't know. You do you. What you'll find is prosperity starts coming in because you are what you eat. And as you start eating to thrive, other parts of your life turn into things where you thrive. It's kind of funny how that works. As you prioritize your health through the food you put in your mouth, Mother Nature kicks in. It's kind of cool. But it starts with deciding you're going to eat to thrive rather than eat to survive. I'll be back tomorrow with another Thought of the Walk. Make it a great week.